Hello everyone, Xzav here again. On this next video, I'm actually going to change things up a little bit. Instead of showing the next part of my base, the shop, actually it is Thursday, and it's time for me to do my base and territory refresh. So I'm just going to go ahead and, start showing through the process of what I do there. This will take a couple videos because it does take me a little while. So I'm going to turn my HUD back on. Again, backspace, HUD on, HUD off. And what I want to do is I want to first make a little quick note. Actually, let me turn my HUD off so I can see these a little easier. And what I want to do is copy down this quick notes I have here for what I need to do. So I'm gonna press insert to open up my local chat, and insert didn't do anything. So what's happening here is I can see if I turn my HUD back on, I press insert. Oh, it's changing my tame ordering group. Okay, well that's because I have my num lock on. So I turn my num lock off. Now it opens to local. I just press enter to make that go away without really saying anything. Turn my HUD back off with backspace, press insert. Hey, there's my local. All right. So Bronto, I just typed down this first sign. There is berries, alien, whales, giga, owls, meat, spoiled, fish, fish, miscellaneous, snails, and question mark on cook. Okay. Now, what I want to do is while I'm doing my refresh, I want this to stay on the screen. So I'm actually going to hit the backspace, the one that's underneath of the, excuse me, not backspace, the backslash, the one underneath my backspace key. That turns the auto hide on or off. And I can see the first thing I want to do is Bronto. Let me turn my display back on. And for doing my base refresh, one of the things I want to do is I will take all my normal gear that I don't have worn or in my hotbar, and I'm going to transfer that over to my RG. There's a reason for that. It actually makes it a little easier. And the first project, Brontotheres and berries. Those are all part of my berry project. Um, go over this real quick. I think I mentioned it earlier. Basically, I have the Amar, the Azul, the Tinto, the Mijo, the Stim, and the Narco fridges. The reason I only have two of these and I have four of these is because that's the ratio I gather them in. So I come up here. Basically, bottom of the glass is one here, two, three, and then four is the top of the glass. I can see it's empty. Um, So from here, I want to gather. I can easily carry 5 rows. Of course, everyone has different base refresh tactics. The way that everyone does their base refresh. But I'll go through mine. That way, you can just kind of see how I do things. Like I said, a lot of times people may get inspiration just to see how I do things, transferring things. Sometimes I'll talk about there are a couple different methods of transferring items, getting these things compressed, so on and so forth. Um, a lot of times I watch videos and I just get different ways of doing things. I pick up different methods and stuff, and that's really kind of what I'm doing my videos for. I know there's tons of videos out there for, hey, here's the newest dinosaur, and here's how to tame it, and here's all the caves and everything. I want these videos to be a little more inspirational, in depth on how I do things again. So sorry for being repetitive, but anyways. So getting back, Bronto is the first thing on my list. So um, the last thing I grabbed was some Mijos. I got 5 rows of each of these three, and about a row or so of Mijo. Now I don't really use Mijo very often. If I am going to tame something that uses berries, normally I'd use Mijo. I remember it was always said that Mijo tames better, but that's what I use. So I have this Bronto up here. Not really the one I normally use. This one's the weight one. I normally use a speed Bronto that I have, but I got this Bronto up here by the berry forest, just kind of ready to go by the doors, if I need. Um, and of course, once a week I feed him. Now you can see I could forget to feed him for, or her, I should say. I could forget to feed her for a month or two, and she would still be fine. But again, I'm refreshing my base. I go through the steps and I do what I like to do. So I just manually feed her. She's the only berry eater up here. And after she's fed, I also have one other that I don't feed with a trough. I just manually feed once a week down here. Down here by the door going out. This door, you can see this door goes to the swamp area, which I kind of talked about before, where I bring the Theras out here, right about around in here. You can see all these, the swamp plants, plenty of them there, and the trees and all that. That's where I get my mushrooms and flowers. So I come up here, and again, I could forget to feed him for several weeks. But again, I just like to do the process once a week. Now I do keep them on passive and ignore. That's why this says change to heed because they're on ignore. That way they won't listen if I press J accidentally. They won't start moving around. If they see some type of dinosaur outside the walls, they won't start trying to break the walls and go through them and everything. Now, this next thing, so over here, these refrigerators down in the shop, over my head here, that I just got these berries from, they're really kind of the top of the glass. Again, I explain things, where I fill the glass up, I fill it from the bottom to the top. As I use it from the top down to the bottom. So what I'm going to do on this task of berries is I like to compress my berries. Um, all of my food, I always like to compress it once a week. It's just something I've always done since I started playing Ark. The basic idea is whenever I have a stack that has more in it, that stack will last longer because it spoils one at a time. And the other thing is if I have say a refrigerator that's full of food, but each stack is only half full, if I compress it, and instead of being, say, 50 items, now it's only 25 items. Well, then each time it spoils one, it's going to spoil 25 rather than 50. So it increases the life of it, it compresses it. So I know, like when I looked at my refrigerators out there and I saw that the last one was empty and number three was full, I know that all these berries up here are full. The refrigerators over there are full, and out in the shop are full. Um, so the very bottom of the glass for me for berries is these two tech troughs. I use these two for berries. The rest of them here I use for meat. I like to keep these completely full. If I start raising any kind of baby that eats berries, then it'll use these, and they are full. I can see this one used one, which is great. One spoiled, probably because of the kangaroos. Being a breeding area, I leave the kangaroos out. Never really got much into using them, but anyways. Um, so I come right here where I can see both, and I can see my bird. I open this up. I search berries, BER, good enough. Transfer all. I come over here and I open this one up. Now I have them sorted like this, kind of very OCD. The basic idea there is if I'm raising a baby that eats berries and he eats a whole bunch of them, I don't want him to eat a whole bunch of one type, and I go out and gather and I have to do two or more runs or whatever it is, more runs. I like to have the usage be evenly distributed. So when I regather, it's an easier process. That should make sense, hopefully. Um, so to fill this up, basically all I do, I'll go down to the bottom here. I just press and hold T on each of these, go through, go down to the bottom. And once I see that there's 1,000 weight, then I know they're all completely full. Now on this one, call me OCD, of course. Yellow's not the very first one. So what I want to do, I want to take the blue, take the red. Now yellow's the first. I come down here, take the Mijo, and then I'll put yellow, 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 hitting T each time until one shows up. T, 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 and T, 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 and then T, and then T, and T, and T, and 1,000, and it's full. I go back to the bird, and I transfer all of this, because I can't carry that much, and I go just AMA, because AM would also have the shotgun shells, AMA, all the marberries. Now, like I said, that's the bottom of the glass. The very next up from that is these refrigerators. Before I had tech trough usage, I actually used these 3 to store berries to put in the regular feeding troughs for when I raise babies. I liked having one refrigerator full. I'll come up to this first refrigerator. Now I'm going to show on this first refrigerator. Most people, if they wanted to top this off, what they would do is press and hold T. But the thing is, that is sequentially doing T. And I'll show you, if I press T one time, it takes and it fills up just this first stack. The reason for that is because the refrigerator's full. So the next time I press T, it fills up the next stack, and so on and so on and so on. So to fill this whole refrigerator, holding T, you can see as it goes down through the stacks, and you can also see on the weight as it filled them. It takes an actual 80 times that it has to fill each one. And on Amar, I also have this last refrigerator is food for imprinting when I'm raising babies, or what, I don't want that yet. I do have the different types of foods that they can ask for. I keep everything that they normally would ask for except for prime fish. Prime fish is just such a pain to get, at least for me, and it spoils so quick. I just don't keep it. If they ask for prime fish, I'll just cryo them and uncryo them, and then they'll ask for something else. So I do like to top that one off once a week. Okay. Excuse me. So a different technique I'm going to show you on the Azul is I'll come up here, and instead of pressing and holding T, what I'll do is I'll take one stack. And because there's one stack short, the refrigerator's not full, when I come over here and I press T one time, you can see what it did is it tops off. It tries to fill as much as it can. It transfers that whole stack of 100 in here, and it just does it. Because the stack's empty, it's trying to get to fill this refrigerator. So now, instead of having to hit T, or should I say hold T down for 80 cycles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cycles filled it, rather than 80 cycles. A lot quicker. And then I come over here, top this one off, done. Now, the quickest way, which is how I normally do them, is kind of the same thing with one more change, is I'll come over here. Now, if I hit transfer all, what happens is nothing, because it's full and it won't transfer anything. It doesn't even transfer to top off the first stack. But if I take one stack, transfer, accept, it's full. That's all I got to do. I hit T, transfer, accept, full refrigerator. And that's how I like to fill those. And then, of course, again, because I'm OCD, I only do it once a week, but I do like to do it. Top off even the Mijo berries. Okay. And then from here, down to the very top of the glass, that in, and go through again. Amar, take. I can see that probably won't be enough. 2 more. Up to 1. T, transfer, accept, full. And I'll just go through like this. Now this one, I can see there's 36 stacks. If I transfer all without taking any, because I have empty spaces, so I don't need to take any, I just transfer. And it went from 36 to 41, I know it topped them off. So now I go like this. So let me just finish these up, and I'll have one last thing to say about this. So do this, 1, 2, and 3. Of course, this, whoops, I didn't need to do it on that one. Now, this is part of the reason that I transferred things into my RG, because if I had something that possibly could go into a refrigerator, it may transfer that as well. I really like to have nothing in my inventory. That way, when I have the berries and I transfer all, I know exactly what's going into the refrigerators. I don't end up, possibly carrying a cryopod on me, and I misplace a cryo dinosaur somewhere in one of my refrigerators and have to spend an hour just looking around for that one dinosaur. Whoops, again, habit. Okay, and the last one, instead of Mijo, I'm just going to go BE for berries. Now, on these last 3, I don't have any of those except some Mijo berry up there. So what I do on these to compress them, I open that, I take all, I go over here, take, transfer, yes, full, and transfer. And I just do that on all 3. Now, I know, whoops, a lot of people might be like, well, why do you keep all these berries all the time? You want all these refrigerators full of berries. You're really going to use that many berries and all that. One of the things about the way I play Ark is I don't like to be like, well, I want to make such and such. Let me go out and gather all the materials for it, or the food, or whatever it is. If I want to make a bunch of narcotics, or I want to feed my pigs, or make the poop for beetles, or I want to make a bunch of the med brews, or whatever it is, I want to come over here and grab some of this, and then run over here and grab some. Whoops, these should be in there. I don't know why they don't go in the folder sometimes. Grab some of this, and then I can go turbo jump up, and this, and fast, and land. I kind of over jumped it. Sorry. Come over here, and yeah, I'm gonna put 1, 2, 3, and some thatch. Add some more beer. Well, that's probably too many. Okay, working on beer collection. If I want to do something like that, that's fine. I have all the resources. I've always been in the habit of liking to gather and have on hand whatever I may need for whatever I want to build or cook or craft or whatever it is. So that's just why I am the way I am. I got in the habit when I first made my first main base. I put down a couple boxes. It was only like 10 boxes. I would go out and gather the stone and wood and thatch and fiber. Come back when the boxes were full. Then I would craft a whole bunch of structure items and then build and rinse and repeat. So kind of why I was in the habit. So like I was mentioning on compressing my food, this way when I come over here and I take a look that, oh, this refrigerator's empty and this is half empty, I know that everything else is full, and I have a real good idea of my status on berries. I know, yeah, it's about time to, actually, I get about 40 of these per run, so it's about time for me to do about 3 runs, actually. But I'll save that for another day. Real easy, because the berry forest is right out there. It's no problem. So the next thing on my project here is alien, whales, giga, owls, and meat. All of those are meat things. So I come over here. This is the top of the glass for my meat. To me, let's see, empty, 25. I'm going to skip this one, and I'm going to go to the next full one. I'm going to take a full refrigerator. And it has a lot of spoiled meat, and it's kind of weighing me down. I'm going to just dump these here for right now. You'll see on that process a little later, no problem. But I got, basically a full load of cooked meat. The first thing on my list says alien. Now, I know it's not an alien, but if you ask me, let's see. Emma? No. Okay. If you ask me, it sure looks like an alien to me. And the way you actually get these is you get impregnated, it pops out of your belly. Yeah, it's an alien. Now, like I said, it's just shorthand to remind me of what I need to do. And what that reminder is I do keep some meat in this feeding trough right here. The reason I chose alien as the reminder rather than saying Rex or Doe's or whatever is because it's the feeding trough closest to the alien. That way, it actually feeds the Rex, the alien, and all 4 Doe's. So, what I do is I'll just top it off. I'll take the spoiled. For right now, I'll top it off to 12. I can see it didn't have any cooked meat in it, so these guys probably are hungry some. I'm going to let them eat. Okay. I'll come back and top it off a little later. When I'm done with my base refresh, I want it to have 12 stacks in it. My next thing is whales. In the same fashion, I do like to, now I could land on my metal raft, on the speedboat, or I got this low landing platform here. Whoops, lag. Made me kind of jump off my bird, and where is, why'd you do that? Okay. So, in the same fashion, this one, now it doesn't cover the whole pool, but my shark is on wander, so he'll wander into the area, he'll get fed. It does feed a couple utes, but that's no big deal. It doesn't feed the gotchas, so that's real good. It does feed all the whales, and that's really the purpose. That's why I say whales. Same thing here. They got a bunch of spoiled, which means they're hungry. So I'm going to put 2 stacks in, or 2 rows. And the next one is Giga. Also in the same fashion. Now, this one, I actually keep 2 rows of spoiled meat. I'm just going to go S, spoiled, good. The spoiled meat here is for the beetles underneath. It does cover them. And then I'm going to put a couple rows of this. Whoops, a little too fast compared to my old system. It's much faster. And I'm going to let them eat. The Giga, the Ice Wyvern, the Trapeo, the Tapajara, I believe. No, I don't think he's under this feeding trough. I think he's under the pig feeding trough. But anyways, I'll let them eat. Now the next thing says owls. But notice I'm starting to get a little bit low. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to get some more. This one will work perfect. Yep, I can see my weight is just about where I like it to be full. And I'm going to manually feed all 4 owls. I got 1 with each set of gotchas. Whoops, I'm a little laggy today. Okay, there we go. I'm just gonna, whoops, like this. Now on the owls, they store extra hide because I use hide to feed my gotchas. And what I did, let me actually take that. Whoops. Right. What I did on the owl is I have a bunch of hide, but I put the exact amount in. Like I said, this is kind of a backup to where when I put meat in, 2 rows and he'll be full, which is enough to feed him once a week. So all I have to do on the owls, whoops, I want that off. I don't like to have that on, thank you. I prefer not to have it. on the owls. So I come over to one like this. I land right here so that when I press E to get off, I don't accidentally open a door to the outside. There may be a Sarcos sitting right there or something. I open him up. I hit C so it doesn't include the spoiled. Transfer. And now I know he has 2 rows of meat. I'll let them eat. Let's see, getting kind of close here to the time limit, but I think I'm going to finish meat. Zip through this, show you this, open this, and like I said, of course, with all the squawking I'm doing, it's taking a little longer to do some of this project than it normally takes. And for me, I am going to be doing the whole thing sequentially, but I do want to try to keep my videos to about half an hour. I can see we're getting up around 26 minutes, so just like I said, I'm just going to finish this. In fact, you know what? Yeah, I got that one on as well. I'll go ahead and turn that off on the display. I hate forgetting things like that. In fact, the other day I think I might have forgot something. Let's see if I actually did. Don't know if I did or not. I was showing something and I said, wait a minute. Yep, I sure enough did. I hate leaving things unkempt like that. So anyways, yeah. This has been the first cycle on refreshing my base. You can see I went through Brontotheris berries, alien whales giga, and owls. I'll continue on my next video. Meat, spoiled fish, miscellaneous snails. I'll probably get all that done and maybe continue on to starting the gotchas and then probably have to finish that on a later video. While I still have just a minute or two, let me put the egg away. I mentioned the other day when I was getting the about how I have a refrigerator here for eggs. So I want it to be real close to the cooker, and I put unfertilized eggs here. I do use this to store some extra stuff, but when I get eggs that need to be cooked, I'll put them. Well, I don't have any of those, but you can see I got some. If I'm out and I find an egg, I'll just put it in here. I can look it up on the sign on my kibble refrigerators, which egg goes in which. But like owl eggs, snow owl eggs, I know I already got some. You can see them. I pick them up once in a while. And of course, the U eggs are the ones I'm saving and building them up. Every once in a while, I just cook a big old batch of them. So generally, I just come up to this refrigerator, I open it, transfer, done. Now, if I see that an egg came out here, then I know that a stack has hit 100, and I just put that stack into the right folder, and no problem, done. So anyways, yeah, that'll be it for this video. I'll go ahead and edit it where the end of the video is right here. I'll probably take a little quick break. If you like this video, please hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe so you can continue watching these videos. I am still pretty new to art, to recording art videos. It's still a learning process for me. Hopefully you enjoyed the process as much as I do. And check back in and check out my other videos. I'll see you next time. This is Xzav logging out.